This is Paul. Yeah. I was looking through the Code of Judicial Conduct, Rules of Conduct for Judges adopted by the American Bar Association. Yeah. Then there's a Code of Professional Responsibility, the rules that govern the professional conduct of lawyers passed by the American Bar Association and adopted by the states. Violation of this code may be punished by suspension or revoking of the attorney's license to practice law. And it's interesting, you have to have a license to practice law. Yeah. Now, let's say I've emailed what should be every judge in the United States, and I find out that they do know about the organized crime of the Fish family way of incarcerating those that are not guilty of crimes. Now, for Supreme Court justices that are bound by the United States Constitution, I just sent an email last night. They decided to ignore that you had to have a bee on you, and there's a lot of different reprogramming needs, and some bees are more powerful than others. So you're listening to the testimony of a witness that's giving some sort of giving a history, right? They're talking about what the event was that would cause the incarceration of a person, and you notice that they're on the radar or the lizard electricity system or the fish sonar or one of these types of bees where what they're saying is actually being controlled. Now, any judge, any justice, or any commissioner that has sworn, they are bound to the Constitution of the United States, that does know that they had to be on each other for no less than the last 5 years, causing to question the actual judicial conduct of a lot of judges in a lot of counties. Now, I'm that American citizen that said, well, I'm going to sue every judge. I'm going to impeach every Supreme Court justice. Now, I find a few of these that were convicted because you controlled the testimony of a witness. I'm going to put you in prison. I'm going to take all of your possessions, and you're going to go to jail. Now, I did send out that membership, and maybe I should go through it again. It's been a while now that I think about it. There's quite a few email addresses in that directory. Poach. Seems like a lot of these bar associations been locking up with a login that you have to be able to access the directories of attorneys. Seemed like somebody might have had the same idea that I had, that I would just email those that are judges or commissioners or Supreme Court justices about my constitutional rights being violated. But once I find out that you let anybody go to prison or go to jail because you as a judge or a justice just did not want to do what the law requires. I'm starting to slobber. I've got a little too much saliva this morning. Now, there's one thing to get a guy out of jail, or a gal. Pooch. It's another thing to put judges in prison that control what's said on the witness stand. Seemed like they just wanted to get as many people in jails and prisons as possible, and they thought, well, we'll just control what the witness testifies. As long as it's documented that the person for sure did the crime. Now, as I pointed out, and I have actually documented, I wasn't in Squim on December 31st. And yet, here I sit on the street waiting to get my rights enforced. Now, I'm going to make sure and go through every conviction for the last 7 years. Put a couple extra years on there for you. Then I'm going to find out who it was that witnessed, that testified, that caused the conviction of a person for an alleged crime. Pooch. Because it seemed like the Fish family gangster way of doing things is, if you get arrested, you're guilty. Guilty! Now, I know I've mentioned that I'm not very happy that America's oaths of office haven't enforced the laws of the United States. And I've communicated and said, well, you're going to give me my family. Okay, you're going to do that. Now, for every judge in every county that thinks I won't put them in prison, they could be sorely mistaken.